The football season is nearly over. Baseball's pitchers and catchers have yet to report, but the international racing season is now officially underway. Welcome live to Daytona International Speedway as we present the 47th Rolex 24 at Daytona on Fox. When you're having fun, you want to stay in the car. Ryan Briscoe has yet to climb in.
The 10 car got past the 6 car there, yep. So that is a, and like I say, these cars have been lapping consistently for the last 40 minutes with exactly the same time virtually.
Darren Law moves to P1 in the number 58. Meanwhile, here's the number 60 Michael Shank Racing Ford Riley, shown in 10th coming in with Ryan Hunter-Reay behind the wheel. Looks like they're doing some front end work.
Yeah.
Left front suspension perhaps. Headlights working. Get all the attachment points in place and send him on his way again. It may have been going into the ducting underneath that nose to take out some of the dirt and grass from his previous off back in the chicane.
Yeah, could well have been. Because once you block these radiators up, we saw that last year. These cars soon overheat. Those radiator matrices get full of rolled up rubber.
Stop and go penalty for car number 60 for jumping the restart. You cannot initiate a pass on a restart until you cross start finish.
And that's Colin Braun driving that car now. Colin Braun.
Colin Braun holds the record as the youngest winner in Grand Am Rolex Series history at age 17. I believe he won here at Daytona in the midsummer 250-mile sprint race. We'll take a break and return. There's a look at the top 10 in the overall and the DP class and their gaps to the leader. There's the GTs. Cars. Top 10 in Daytona prototype, and we'll do the same for GT. We'll be back in a few moments live to Daytona International Speedway. 134 laps completed, 119 of them under the green flag. We are now coming up on 4 hours and 20 minutes into the race. Terry Borcheller leads Darren Turner, A.J. Allmendinger, Ryan Briscoe, and Colin Braun. Pace car is off. Terry Borcheller will lead Darren Turner, A.J. Allmendinger, Ryan Briscoe, Colin Braun, Buddy Rice, and Alex Lloyd down into turn 1. Gently, boys.
Bit of action going through turn 1 there.
It is not a very wide racetrack through the infield, it must be said. On board with Juan Pablo Montoya, as brave as they come in traffic. I think it was Paul Horning who said, money won is sweeter than money earned. In this case, AJ can do both as he takes over the lead from Borcheller on lap 139. And that puts Michael Shank Racing out into the lead. Chris Neville is standing by with the boss.
Well, the boss has got a smile on his face. His team won the last 2 races of the 2008 season. You're the hottest team in the series right now, and one of your cars is out front. You got to be pretty happy.
So far, so good. Both the 6 and the Westfield number 60 are doing great. AJ just put it in the lead there. We're still just trying to be cool here. We almost won it last year with that 6 car broke with 2 hours to go. Trying to keep AJ under leash is a little tough, though, sometimes.
As this race is developing, is there anything that's kind of standing out that you guys are wanting to watch?
No, but I'll tell you what, this pace is really fast. It's really worried me. We're going to go through easy couple sets of front brake pads on this deal, maybe a 3 the way it's going right now.
Earlier, one of your cars pitted a little bit early, some tire wear issues. What are the concerns there?
Yeah, we had some problems when Oswaldo ran his first 2 sets out. We had some blistering on the left front. Real simple under 1 of yellow. We put some camber in it, stood the left front tire up some, and it looks good so far.
Everything's looking good now, but we also have to remember the temperature has dropped drastically in these nighttime hours. And tomorrow when we run, we're just not running until 12 o'clock. We're running until 3:30.
That's right. It's a long day after a long night at Daytona. A.J. Allmendinger just clicks with these sports cars. Michael Shank Racing shut out the front row for last year's Rolex 24. AJ led 66 laps.
Well, the second Michael Shank car, the number 60 with Colin Braun behind the wheel, is also flexing its muscles at the moment.
There's the 76 sister car to the 75. That's Darren Turner, very experienced British driver. Done a lot of great work with Aston Martin at Le Mans.
No one giving any quarter there.
No.
Into that the kink there. Jimmy Johnson has now worked his way past the top 6 GT cars, behind which he had dropped after that gearbox change. So
yeah, good point.
Jimmy Johnson's now in 17th spot. He had dropped to as low as 26th. So he has pulled himself up, but of course he is still 8 laps down on the leader.
There's a look at the top 10 in Daytona prototype. Also the top 10 in the overall. There are the GT positions.
You know, both our cars ran really well, and we had some motor problems here at the end. But Roush Yates always does a great job for us. We'll have to get it fixed and go on to VIR in April.
Here's a look at the cars out of the race as we are counting down less than 8 hours and 30 minutes to go. In the DP class, both of the Michael Shank Racing cars. You heard from team owner Michael Shank, who said there were engine problems. John Maddox from Roush Yates Engines confirming that they had a letdown in a part that they received from a supplier that has evidently contributed to taking 5 Ford-powered cars out of this race. Well, we know the Roush Yates guys do a great job on the engines. They're going to take the problem very seriously and have it fixed shortly. You can count on that.
The important thing is we're not sinking the boot into Ford, because their commitment to Grand Am and Daytona prototypes is simply amazing, and all of the Ford-powered teams thoroughly enjoy the power plant that pushes their cars around. Knowing that commitment from the Roush Yates, the engine power plant, and all of the personnel that work there, they will rectify this situation in time for the next round at VIR.
Well, they're looking at some of the reports overnight and getting some of the press releases in. They believe it's a piece that's made from a supplier to Ford, so there's nothing per se wrong. We believe it may be a crank trigger system that's actually on the front end of the engine. Very hard to get to. You have to strip the whole engine down. This is why teams are choosing to retire.
Justin.
Yeah, I should be having my breakfast in Starbucks by now, but I just spoke with Wolfgang Huckstedt from Bosch. Here is the reason behind it. They have a serial failure on the Ford engines with the increment wheel, which is a 60-2 teeth wheel that actually has a 30,000th clearance to all those sensors. It tells the electronics what the engine is doing. Now imagine that wheel is coming loose, which it is. Just 30 thousandths, you move it a little bit and dong, 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 all the top of the sensors come off. There it is, simple as that. It's nothing to do with a problem with Ford. It's just a weird one-off, but a serial failure.
Some NASCAR notables at the Rolex 24 this year. JPM, the 3-time winner, Jimmy Johnson. Casey Mears, AJ Allmendinger, who went out early. Colin Braun, who has enjoyed a stellar year last year in the Camping World Truck Series.